To the 80-year-old waking up in pain every morning, I have not abandoned you. I see you before the sun even breaks through the curtains. I am sitting right here on the edge of your bed, while the rest of the world is still asleep. I watch as your eyes flutter open, and that immediate, familiar wave of physical pain greets you before you even have the chance to fully wake. I know the exact sensation that runs through your joints, the stiffness in your back, and the heavy ache that makes the simple act of breathing feel like a chore. You are 80 years old, and you have lived a long, full, and demanding life. But right now, in the silence of this bedroom, I know that your 80 years feel less like a triumph and more like a heavy blanket that you cannot seem to throw off. I am speaking to you now because I want you to know that I see the immense courage it takes for you just to pull back the covers and place your feet on the floor. I see the quiet bravery in your morning sighs, and I know exactly how much strength it requires to face another day when your body is screaming for relief. You might think that nobody understands this silent daily battle. You might feel that your family simply cannot comprehend the depth of this persistent ache, but I do. I felt the weight of the physical world, and I know the frailty of the human frame. You are not invisible to me. I am holding your hand right now, and I am whispering peace into your weary bones. You have carried so much for so long. For decades, you were the one everyone relied on. You woke up early, you worked through your own exhaustion, you provided, you cared for your children, and you held your family together through storms that nobody else even knew about. You were the strong one, you were the foundation. But now, the years have compounded, and the relentless march of time has left its mark on your physical body. It is deeply frustrating for you, I know. Your mind is still sharp, your spirit still yearns to be active, but your body simply refuses to cooperate the way it used to. I see the tears of frustration that you quickly wipe away when you drop something and cannot easily bend down to pick it up. I hear the silent apologies you offer to yourself when you have to decline an invitation because the pain is just too severe. I see the guilt that washes over you when you feel like you are becoming a burden to the very people you spent your whole life protecting. Let me stop you right there and lift your chin so you can look into my eyes. You are not a burden. You have never been a burden to me, and your worth is not tied to your physical utility. You have poured out your life for others, and it is perfectly okay that your vessel is now feeling empty and worn. I am here to fill it back up, not with demands for more work, but with my unconditional grace. The pain you feel every morning is not a punishment. It is the earthly toll of a deeply lived life, but it does not have to be a lonely prison. Chronic pain has a way of isolating you, making you feel like you are trapped on an island while the rest of the healthy world rushes by. You watch the news, you see the rapid pace of modern life, and you wonder where you fit into a society that only seems to value the young and the tireless. You wonder if your best days are entirely behind you, and if the time you have left is just a waiting room filled with discomfort. My beloved child, nothing could be further from the truth. The fact that you endure this pain and still manage to find moments to smile, to pray, and to love is a testament to the beautiful soul I created you to be. I am not asking you to pretend the pain does not exist. I am not asking you to put on a brave face for me. When you are with me, you can be exactly as tired, exactly as hurting, and exactly as fragile as you truly are. I want to take the heavy weight of expectation off your shoulders right now. For 80 years, you have been trying to be strong. Today, I am inviting you to be weak, because in your weakness, my strength is made perfect. You do not need to prove anything to anyone anymore. You have fought the good fight, and the weariness you feel in your muscles and bones is completely validated by my love. When the morning light hurts your eyes and the pain threatens to steal your joy, I want you to remember that the creator of the universe is sitting beside you, holding your hand, and validating every single tear. You have carried this burden for a long time. I have seen your secret tears, and I understand how deeply, profoundly tired you are. Let me be your resting place today. I want you to take a gentle breath and look back with me for a moment, not with regret, and certainly not with sorrow, but with the quiet understanding that comes from a long journey. It feels like just yesterday you were young, does it not? You were full of boundless energy, holding your growing children, building your life, and rushing out the door to face the demands of the day. The years passed in a blur of responsibilities, celebrations, hardships, and quiet victories. You were so busy surviving, so focused on making sure everyone else had what they needed, that you barely noticed the toll it was taking on your own spirit. To protect your family and your heart from the harshness of the world, you built strong walls. You had to be the tough one. You had to weather the financial storms, the family crises, and the unpredictable turns of life. But over the decades, without you even realizing it, those walls of protection slowly turned into walls of isolation. The very strength you relied on has become a heavy armor that is now too exhausting to wear. The world around you has changed so rapidly, and it often feels like it is spinning completely out of control. The noise of modern life, the endless stream of bad news on the television, and the fast-paced culture that seems to have no time for the wisdom of the elders. All of this has quietly stolen your peace. You spent your entire life worrying about providing, about maintaining financial security, and about making sure your loved ones were safe. That constant state of alertness, that intense mental heavy lifting, did not just magically disappear when you retired or when your children moved out and started their own lives. Instead, that anxiety settled deep into your mind and eventually right down into your bones. That is the true anatomy of the weight you feel every single morning. The pain that greets you at dawn is not just arthritis or the natural aging of your body. It is the accumulated tension of a lifetime spent holding your breath, always waiting for the next shoe to drop, always bracing for the next emergency. But I want to remind you of a beautiful truth that the world has forgotten. Remember the gentle wisdom I shared with you in the book of Proverbs. I told you there that gray hair is a crown of splendor, and it is attained in the way of righteousness. The modern world might look at your 80 years and see only frailty or a slowing pace. But I look at your 80 years, and I see a magnificent, shining crown. You have earned every single silver thread through decades of love, profound sacrifice, and quiet endurance. And remember what else I promised you in Proverbs. I said that when you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. I know that right now your sleep is so often interrupted by aches, and your mornings are greeted by stiffness instead of sweetness. But my promise to you is still alive and active. It is a promise for your soul just as much as for your physical body. The peace I offer does not expire just because your body is aging. The true enemy you are fighting every morning is not the calendar, nor is it the physical decline. The antagonist is the heavy silence of an empty house that amplifies your pain. It is the insidious lie whispering that your season of purpose has passed and that you are no longer useful. You carry the invisible weight of memories, the guilt over harsh words spoken decades ago, the sorrow over broken relationships, and the lingering anxieties about what tomorrow will bring. This heavy cocktail of past regrets and future fears is what truly drains the color from your morning light. I see how you have slowly retreated into yourself, pulling back from life because the simple effort to engage just hurts too much, both physically and emotionally. You have allowed the world's standard of value, which only praises youth and constant production, to make you feel invisible. But to me, you are more visible, more precious, and more vital than ever before. We are going to gently dismantle those heavy walls, piece by piece, so you can breathe again. I know that when you look at the calendar, or simply watch the sun rise and set from your window, you feel the quiet, undeniable passing of time. At 80 years old, the world tries to convince you that time is a cruel thief. It tells you that time has permanently stolen your mobility, your independence, and the vibrant energy you once carried so easily. It whispers in your ear that it is simply too late to change, too late to find lasting relief, and too late to experience true joy when your body wakes up in physical pain every single morning. But I want you to look at me right now and listen to the truth. I am the Prince of Peace, and I govern time. Time does not govern me. In my kingdom, the clock does not tick down to defeat. My grace does not operate on human schedules, and it certainly does not expire just because your joints ache and your steps have slowed down. The world measures your value by how many years you have left to produce, to work, and to contribute to a rushing society. I measure your value by the eternal, beautiful soul I knit together with my own hands. You might feel that the years you have remaining are just a waiting room filled with physical discomfort and mental fatigue. But I have a completely different perspective. The time you have right now, today, is a profound gift of grace. It is not too late for your heart to experience a total, sweeping peace. You do not need to go back in time and fix every mistake you made in your 30s, 40s, or 50s to earn my comfort today. You do not need to reconcile every financial worry that still keeps you awake in the middle of the night. I know the anxiety that grips your chest when you think about the rising cost of living, the complicated medical bills, and the deep, silent fear of becoming destitute or a burden to your children. I want to take that specific, heavy anxiety right out of your fragile hands. The beautiful truth about my divine solution is that it requires absolutely no heavy lifting from you. You have spent 80 long years trying to earn your place, trying to be good enough, strong enough, and resilient enough to protect everyone around you. Today, the exhausting striving finally ends. I am taking the pen out of the hands of your past regrets, and I am writing a beautiful, gentle chapter for whatever time remains. Even if it feels like just a fleeting whisper of time in the grand scheme of the universe. To me, it is an eternity of opportunity to wrap you in absolute, unconditional love. When the sharp pain radiates through your back or your knees tomorrow morning, I want you to see it not as a cruel prison sentence, but as an invitation to lean entirely back into my arms. The world says that aging is a tragic defeat. I say that it is a sacred, beautiful transition. It is the slow, necessary stripping away of the heavy illusions of self-reliance, so that you can finally, truly rest in my complete sufficiency. The peace I am offering you right now is not a fragile, temporary distraction from your physical aches. It is a deep, anchored assurance that your soul is completely secure, no matter what happens to your physical frame. It is the realization that you are fully and completely forgiven. Every harsh word spoken in anger decades ago, every missed opportunity with your family, and every moment of doubt that has plagued your weary mind. I washed that slate entirely clean a long time ago. I am simply waiting for you to look at the clean slate and realize you are utterly free. You might wonder how a body in constant pain can possibly house a spirit at absolute peace. It happens the very moment you surrender the desperate need to control the outcome of your life. It happens when you accept that your primary job right now, at 80 years old, is simply to let yourself be loved by me. You no longer need to be the caretaker of everyone else's emotional burdens. You no longer need to solve the world's problems or even your family's modern, complicated struggles. I am asking you to step down from that exhausting role and let me be the caretaker of your soul. I want to replace the heavy, suffocating anxiety of the unknown future with the gentle, comforting certainty of my constant presence. I am your safe harbor in the midst of this physical storm. When the mental fatigue of a lifetime of fighting threatens to pull you under the waves of despair, I am the solid, unmoving rock beneath your feet. The remaining chapters of your life are not a tragedy of physical decline. They are a masterpiece of quiet, overwhelming, and unmerited grace. The time you have right now is the absolute perfect time for redemption, for breathing deeply without fear, and for letting me carry the crushing weight you were never meant to hold alone. Tomorrow morning, when the sun begins to rise and that familiar ache in your joints is the very first thing to say hello, I want you to try something different. I know your immediate reaction for 80 years has been to grit your teeth and force yourself through the discomfort. You have fought this daily battle with sheer willpower, trying to prove you can still handle it all. But starting tomorrow, I'm asking you to stop fighting. When you open your eyes and the pain washes over you, do not rush to push the heavy covers aside. Do not immediately start calculating how much your back is going to hurt when you stand up. Instead, I want you to lie completely still for just one more minute. I will be sitting right there on the edge of your mattress. Take a slow, deep breath. Let the air fill your lungs and quietly speak my name. Just say, "Jesus, I am hurting and I am so tired." That is all you need to say to invite my resting peace into your physical reality. After you whisper my name, I want you to talk to me like the lifelong friend that I am. Tell me exactly where it hurts. Tell Tell me about the sharp pain in your knees and the exhausting fog in your mind. But do not stop with your physical body. Tell me where your heart is hurting too. Tell me about the anxiety that kept you awake at 2 in the morning, the fear of running out of money, and the quiet sorrow of missing the people no longer sitting at your kitchen table. Speak it all out to me, knowing that I am not judging your complaints. I am gathering your tears. Consciously let go of the desperate need to be the strong pillar for everyone else. For decades you held your breath to keep your family afloat. Now it is time for you to exhale. You are allowed to be fragile with me. As you move through your day, whenever that heavy wave of tiredness washes over you, practice a simple act of surrender. Find your favorite chair, sit down, and gently close your eyes. In your mind, picture yourself holding 2 heavy, worn-out bags. One bag is filled with your physical pain and your frustrations about your aging body. The other bag is filled with your anxieties about the future, your financial fears, and your concerns for your family. I am standing right in front of you with my hands outstretched. I want you to literally imagine handing those heavy bags over to me. Feel the physical release in your shoulders as you let them go. I am strong enough to carry your past, your present, and your future. Give yourself complete permission to rest without a single ounce of guilt. The world will tell you that if you are not moving, you are failing. I tell you that resting in my presence is the most beautifully productive thing your soul can do. Spend time looking out your window tomorrow. Watch the birds, look at the trees, and listen to the quiet of your home without letting it frighten you. Let the silence become a warm blanket instead of a lonely void. Let my grace minister to your weary soul. Remind yourself that your worth is no longer measured by what you can do, what you can build, or what you can provide. Your worth is eternally secured by the beautiful, simple fact that you are mine. You are my beloved child, and you have survived a long, arduous journey. You have made it this far, and I am not about to let you walk these remaining miles alone. Lean all your weight back into my embrace. Let my peace stand guard over your mind and your body. I have sustained you for 80 years, through every storm and every victory, and I promise you with all of my heart that I will never let you go. You are safe now. The struggle is over, and the time for rest has finally come. If you are ready to stop carrying this heavy load by yourself, I want you to take a step toward me right now. Leave your burden in the comments below. Type, "I receive your peace, Lord," and let that be the moment you finally exhale. Subscribe to the channel so that you and I can continue to walk hand in hand, finding comfort, grace, and beautiful peace every single day.